Hello and welcome back to another edition of Fire Engineering's Training Minutes. I'm Mike Dragonetti from Dragon Rescue Management. And what we're going to do in this segment is we're going to show you a technique on an Otis elevator. It's a center opening door, biparting door, so the doors actually open away from each other when there's no keyhole present on the floor where the car is stalled. All right, so before we get into the actual technique for manual access that we're going to show you, I feel it's important for the firefighter to understand the components and operation of the door lock and the door cam that's mounted on the car door side. This is an Otis elevator cam, car door cam. It's a solid piece of metal that is mounted to the car door itself. Now, it is not a common type of setup that we see on most elevator door locks. The clutch that's usually found on the car door is kind of collapsible. It's a spring-loaded mechanism. This one is not spring-loaded, it is not collapsible. It's solid, so when the elevator is running up and down the elevator shaft, this steel bayonet is going to actually pierce the two rollers that are on the pickup side, engaging the two doors and making them one door when it comes floor landing. All right, so now that we described the bayonet part, that's the solid clutch that's on the car door side, we're going to show you how that engages with the door lock so that we understand the whole concept and the action of this lock. So what I'm going to use right now is a screwdriver. I don't have another bayonet. So the way that this works is whether the elevator is going up or down the elevator shaft, this again is mounted to the car side. So when the car comes up or down into the landing, it's actually going to pierce both rollers. Now when the car stops floor landing and the door motor kicks on to open the door, all that's going to happen now is that bayonet, that steel bayonet that's mounted to the door, is going to put pressure on this back roller here and then dropping that door lock and opening it. Just driving it over. All right, so now that we saw the components for both the car side and the shaftway door components, and we understand the action of the lock, we're going to demonstrate the technique of opening this center opening Otis door. Just remember that the only way this is going to work is if the elevator is within 18 inches of the landing, above or below, because if you remember looking at that bayonet, it's approximately 18 to 24 inches, but it has to be in that zone, whether it's above or below, within 18 inches in order for this to look. All right, let's watch Joe open the door with this screwdriver technique. And now we can see the reverse view of this. As the screwdriver comes back, Joe's putting pressure on the back side of the car door, putting pressure on that cam and releasing that door lock. All right, so let's wrap things up. We're going to do a little recap on what we just learned. This was a technique that I was taught by an Otis elevator mechanic on how to access a Otis elevator door lock when the door is a center opening type of setup. One very important thing that you have to remember is that anytime we make manual access to an elevator door, the power has to be off and locked and tagged out. Lotto has to be in place. So it doesn't work on all doors. It's just another tool in the toolbox, so to speak. Sticking that screwdriver through that opening, making sure the power is off, putting pressure on the back car side door is going to release that lock, and you should be in there with no problem. I'm Mike Dragonetti, and thank you for watching Fire Engineering's Training Minutes.